Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid, will be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also, know on this channel, I like to dive deep. So I do look at everything, but we take more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes. It allows you to see why everything is playing out the way that it is. That's really important when you're dealing with people that wear masks and create facades, right? A lot of times when a person creates these illusions, it makes us feel a certain way. And even though they say no one can make you feel a certain way unless you feel that way about yourself, well, then that's what happens. The person is awakening those spiritual blocks. And so that allows you to create awareness. So by understanding why a person does what they do, you'll understand why you do what you do. See, and when you change your habits and your behaviorisms, well, that's when you can shape shift the entire experience. And that's when you see a different reality of your experience. There's many different realities that play out at one time. So that's why sometimes you'll get a reading and it resonates, and then you'll tune in the next day and it's the same story, but it just changes a little bit, and it changes a little bit because people change based on what their perception is, right? What they know. So, and all the time, you know, we have that potential to change. Hey, Diane. So that's why it's important, because a lot of times when we're blocked, it just means that we've been living the same reality that keeps us stuck in a place of disempowerment. Anything that actually cuts us off from love. Our energy is unconditional love. That's the energy of the universe. That's the energy of God. The disconnect is when we ourselves cut ourselves off from love because we are perceiving something about ourselves. So again, healing allows you to evolve into the higher state of consciousness that allows you to quantum jump into a reality that you want to create. Hey, come and see. So again, if you're new to my channel, just know that the readings have a therapy style to them. And if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you're going to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out. It's the underlying energy that tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing. Important, again, when people are wearing masks. So let's see. Lately, I've been pulling two cards. So we'll see. Again, betrayal. That energy, like I said, I feel like has been coming out lately a lot. And you know what? The first feeling I got is that you're connected to someone that for a long time, like you refused to look at the level of betrayal that this person did. It's like you gave them so many chances to prove to you. And so that's betrayal too, but it's also betrayal in oneself when you know because a person is showing you, but you're not accepting of that. So there's this energy of betrayal on many different levels. Obviously, the person that's connected to you did something. Compassion. And again, I feel like you went through a difficult time and this person was not there for you. It's like this person wanted you to show up for them on an emotional level, but they could never show up for you on an emotional level. There's someone that wanted you to give them constantly, but they could never give to you. And when a person's not compassionate with you, it means that, that they had absolutely no empathy and that they were okay with seeing you, in a state that was not happy. And how you see it is if the person's with you, they would want to like comfort you. They would want to be compassionate towards you, to create intimacy through empathy. And intimacy is just it's an experience. You went through a difficult experience. If they would have been there and comforted you, it would have created trust, because intimacy on its most basic level is trust. And this person was like, no, it was like, I feel like they wanted to be right. They wanted to be right. They wanted to like prove how much they really didn't care. And I don't really understand why, but that's the energy. There's someone that was selfish. Abandonment issues. Again, they came in and out of your life. So the betrayal is also that. It's like the emotional abandonment where this person doesn't show up when you need them to. It's like they happen to come into your life and expect you to kind of still always hold the seat for them. You know, that seat's always going to be there, even after all the betrayal, you know, and coming in and out of your life. Well, it's manipulation. It's manipulation where this person is training you to live in a place of survival, really. When a person weaves in and out of your life, it's emotional survival. So again, that like not being able to rely on this person, but actually having this person come into your life when they feel like it. Obviously there's a feeling of you're talking to other people, so you don't care that you're disrespecting me, you're not valuing me. So it goes much deeper than just the abandonment issues. It's betrayal, you know, where you're abandoning, but you're abandoning the entire connection. Where this person tends to like feel trapped in relationships. But what I feel like it is that this person is very codependent, comes into the relationship 1,000 miles an hour, promises to be everything you ever wanted them to be. And then once they have you trapped, then they're like, oh, I don't want this anymore. So it's again where they feel trapped, but you kind of feel trapped in their little psychological games that they play. Because you're like, do you want to be in this connection or don't you want to be in this connection? Do you have feelings for me or do you don't? It's like this person won't let you get comfortable in the connection. And you just felt like this person like treated you like a child. Like they would tend to like lash out for no apparent reason. But I feel like they would trigger because you would say stuff and saying stuff like, well, is there someone else? Because I feel like some of you, you're like, well, why would you be weaving in and out of my life? What other obligations do you have? You know, is it one person or is it an X? Is there an X factor there? But when you would ask, they would yell at you, they would scold you, you know, they just lash out because it's like almost like you're not allowed to know anything about their life. Wanted to be in a connection with someone that you're expected to be one way, but they're expected to be in another. And so understand if you knew more about them, then that again creates intimacy. That creates where almost like if the person has intimacy issues because of trust issues, well, they don't want to share anything because then you can use that against them. They're still coming from this survival perspective. So again, this is how we see when trauma isn't really healed, how it now is projected onto the next relationship when you're like, I didn't even do anything. And so you felt like the person needed constant attention, otherwise they got irritated and jealous, and that the attention wasn't on them. So it's like they would do it very passive aggressively. So again, I want attention, but I don't really want to give you attention. So it's very childish and it's very like, again, I want attention. So I'm talking to a lot of other people. So I seem really desirable. So that also makes you feel a certain way. It's manipulating the environment to make you perceive certain things about this person that really aren't true, you know, but it's all about control and dominance is what you see here. And just the I don't feel safe because you're weaving in and out of my life. It's like you say one thing and then the next day you do something else. So you're non-reliable. That's the energy there. And that's when a person can break down your spirit through that, then you become very easily controlled, right? That's why a person does that. So I want to see where they are now, just what they think or what they feel or what they're reflecting on. Obstacles. They feel like there's obstacles, that you're putting obstacles in the way, because I feel like the obstacles is that they would have to be transparent, that they would have to acknowledge how they treated you. You are the first thing on my mind when I wake up in the morning. So the person still has that energetic connection to you. Now you might say, well, why? If the person doesn't want to, like fix things, well, there's still that energetic cord of love, and we all are made up of that. What happens is over time is that people create these behaviorisms due to what they've gone through, and the connection becomes like almost like it becomes toxic, where that's what this person still has the feeling of unconditional love, but they make the connection toxic because they don't want to give in. They would rather manipulate to try to get you to give to them so that you form a connection, which is betrayal all in its own, because if they don't build an emotional connection, then they don't care really how they treat you. They can leave in and out of your life and talk to other people where you think that there's actually an X factor going on, where you like, I don't know if there's one or if there's many, but you're not here all the time, which is again conditioning you. And then when you're going to say something, they're not compassionate about it. So again, making you not trust them. I'm afraid of losing you. So again, so you might say they're afraid of losing me, but then this is what they do. Well, this is someone clearly then that has a lot of psychological reversals. They get in their own way. They sabotage the connection. See, if you're constantly chasing and giving them energy, then you're not going to walk away. Then you're invested. You're not going to want to walk away. And that's like this person's perception. Like you always have to prove to them, because they're afraid of losing you to the point that they don't really believe that you're going to stay. Clearly, it's like, why are they thinking about that? Because there's a lot of passion and desire. You inspire me in so many ways. So this person actually does have feelings for you, but then you're like, okay, but they don't show any of that. So then we have to look at the healing cards, because clearly then this person has a lot of other like habits and behaviorisms that are affecting the connection to the point that they get in their own way. Sometimes when a person grows up in an environment where they were not able to be vulnerable, not able to be, they weren't treated with compassion. They don't know how to be compassionate. And all the time, by the way, if we grew up in an environment that taught us that love was transactional, then we're always going to meet a person that they act like love is transactional. Or we're seeing the wound play out over and over and over and over again. But that again gives us an opportunity to embody the consciousness. So this person has a hard time being transparent, has a hard time being compassionate. They feel that people aren't going to stay. And so the more feeling that this person has for someone, the more anxiety they get, the more sabotaging behaviors come out. Because again, when they don't care, so you'll say, well, I don't see them. They hook up with everybody and they don't seem to care. Yeah, because it's again, there's no emotion. The fact that this person like feels inadequate or feels insecure, and then you inspire them. That's what it says here. You inspire them. They admire you. There's passion and desire. That's overstimulating for a person that's insecure. They don't really believe that they can have it. And so they get in their own way. So they do all this bullshit before, which you're like, okay, you're not acting like any of that, because there's a part of this person that doesn't believe that they can have it. So we have to look and say, well, what are the behaviorisms? Like, what is this person? Again, we see more betrayal. So this person feels as if they've been betrayed in relationships, and they might have again been brought up with by a mother or father again that betrayed them somehow. That's usually where the first karmic theme plays out, is within the family dynamic. And then the first relationship, the second relationship, there's betrayal. That's the karmic theme that continues to play out. But this person's not aware of how they are, making that their reality. But it's again, they're attracting people that do that. So again, they don't really believe that they're deserving, because that's what keeps happening. I feel like because this person has had people around them that they couldn't trust, there's a way that they're always looking for it. And then they, again, just always are waiting for it, to the point that they get in their own way in being so reactive. So, like I said, believing that they're not deserving, keep reliving the same karmic theme, where it's like the karmic theme is burdens. It's like, I wind up having to pay a lot of money. I wind up losing my business. I wind up having to, the karmic consequences. And so this is which is burdens. So if I get together with you, you're not going to like me. You're going to somehow betray me like everybody else did. And I'm going to get stuck again with even more burdens and lose whatever else that I've had, because this is a karmic theme that keeps happening. They're not aware again of how they contribute to those undesirable life experiences. They're acting like they're in a relationship, like just that the other person is in it. Again, and it's because they're feeling of lack. So when a person doesn't feel like they're enough, well, it doesn't feel good, right? If it's like we're in a place of not knowing who we are, we're in a place of lack. That's really what it is. It's going to show up as a lack of money. So a lack of fulfillment emotionally too. And it's not going to make you feel good. It's connected to that root chakra, and that is again connected to the nervous system. So the fight, flight, freeze, the parasympathetic nervous system goes off every time this person has to get into a situation where they have to, be more than this lack energy. Lack is a mindset. You can be a poor person with a rich life because you have friends and you felt like, again, you make your life in the park, and you do simple things. I mean, people have done it. It's like there's more to life than money. We don't want to. I mean, obviously, if we have money, it's even better, but a lack is a mindset, is what I'm trying to get at. So this person feels so insecure about themselves because they don't really know who they are. So understand, you are only going to fulfill them for a certain amount of time. And love would be transactional, because again, this person would be looking for something to fill themselves with for the lack, right? And so anything that's actually good, they don't believe that they can have. That's subconscious. They're not conscious of that belief. It's like no one's walking around that way saying it, but it's a sense of poor self-esteem and a judgment where they're saying, wow, like, I admire you. I admire you. I have feelings for you. I feel like we have a past life connection, and maybe they don't even know past life connection because this person might not be spiritual at all. They're just like, I feel like I know you, I've met you before. And they might say, that sounds so cheesy, but like it's a line, but that's really what that is. When a person's not spiritually, inclined, they're going to say, I feel like I've known you before. I feel comfortable with you. I feel like, again, there's a connection. You're like, you're supposed to be in my life. So again, because you might say, well, why do they even stick around? Because of that. It's because of that. And there is an attraction, okay? There is an attraction, the physical attraction. And like here it says they're like past life karmic contracts. So lessons that have not been learned. So this is a past life karmic mate that again has come into your life again, met you again in this lifetime, recognizes you, and is back to say, well, we haven't finished our karmic contract, our agreement, which is a contract. And you might be like, okay, so you need to learn what that is, and that might even be not engaging with that person. Not every past life karmic mate do we have to entertain. Sometimes they eat the karma by you not engaging. We'll see. You know what I mean? It's like just because this person, there is this attraction and that there is, but this person has a lot of burdens and there are a lot of baggage. Do you want to pay for that baggage? Because I'm feeling like contracts is kind of like that. Do you feel that you're worthy? It would be a contract. Like if you didn't learn that, if you were brought up in an environment with parents that didn't make you feel worthy, now here it is. You have an opportunity to go out into the world and create, and this person is coming into your life and you see they have a lot of baggage. Would they be a big project? You better believe it, because of their trauma. That's what would influence the connection. That's what's been influencing the connection. Why you're like, why does a relationship look like this? It's like, what is this? It's like, look, they desire you, they admire you, but they don't believe they can have you because they have to heal. It's again due to their trauma. So they would always betray you. Understand that. And because they betrayed themselves. It's self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is psychological reversal. It's they get in their own way. They get so overstimulated. It's easier just to have connections that are not really that deep. Then they're more in control. Then they can live by their ego. It's like with you, they can't do that. It's like it's deep. It's supposed to be, spirit says, because they're not really supposed to be walking around like having those insignificant relationships to make themselves feel good to feed their ego. That's living out of alignment, spirit says. It's like because you're using people like to get energy where you don't really have any intention to make it grow, and that's by spiritual law, sex is still a sacred thing, and we're supposed to treat it as such, and that's not what they're doing. They're treating it as like a crutch for their trauma to make themselves feel better, and with you, you'd make them step it up, and they don't really believe that they're deserving of it. So you have to say, well, are they ever going to do it? And spirit says we shouldn't even be looking, but I always look anyway because I'm curious myself, inquiring minds want to know. But spirit says what's really important is, why did you attract this person into your life? What needs to be healed? Why would you? But we're like, but what are they suffering? That's what the ego inquiring mind wants to know, that they sabotaged. Well, understand they're in a place of like reviewing and analyzing, and they do have judgment on themselves. They're seeing clearly what they did, but they're also like have options. So I'm not going to lie, they are evaluating their options. This person actually, like I said, is going to be confident, I feel like, and assertive. And I feel like there's a part of this person that is like weighing their options. And I feel like in that, that does mean that they're talking to other people. However, you can't replace a past life karmic. You know, it's as strong as a twin flame. The person could be if they stepped it up into their right energy. It's just what they need to heal their trauma in order to do so. So, you know, in and who knows, in their way of coming back to you and surrendering their ego and being confident and acting fearless, you know, and acting chivalry wise, like they would actually have to do that. So I feel like this person is gonna like try to come in and give something, but I feel like if we were talking about the tarot, right, that tarot cards, we'd say they're gonna come in like with a knight's type of energy. So again, they're gonna come in brave, and they're gonna come in again like if this is a big deal for this person, and it's because again they can feel the difference, they can feel the difference, but that doesn't mean that they're healed. So we're clearly just seeing what they're going to do, because it's like, do they care? Of course they care. They know that it's time for them to do something, that it's time for them to do something, because a lot of time has gone by. I feel like this person sees like serendipity is, I know that sounds so, like they see signs and synchronicities, which but when they ask themselves, and it's almost like they feel like they just can't let go. So it does say that it's time, and that time is the perfect timing, which is divine timing, which is really now until the spring. Okay, that this person actually wants to fix it, okay? But understand this person's still going to strategize. But it's almost like with this energy that they believe that they have. I don't know why, again, because they're like, again, we see a lot of betrayal here. But it's again their insecurity. And spirit is saying, well, it's their insecurity, but it's love that makes a person, you know, step up into that night energy to actually take take hold. It's like again, they're showing confidence. They're be acting brave, but does that mean that they know what they do? No, they're coming back because they don't know how you're going to react or respond. But they believe in like again, it's like it's almost like the serendipity of like I'm still thinking about you. Um, Believe in the impossible, daydreams, romantic ending. This is what this person has in mind. So again, doesn't mean that that's what you believe. It's again, when a person lives in trauma, who knows what their reality is, right? Again, but what we know is that they always had feelings. You inspire them. They put you on a pedestal. I feel like they felt like they weren't deserving of you, and that it was just easier to be with people that were just lower hanging fruit, because I don't have to be real. I don't have to be transparent. This connection is real. But, you know, it's like once you had a taste of the real thing, you know, it's like you can't go back. It's like having pizza, your favorite pizza somewhere, and then you go back to like place that doesn't make it as good. It's like, hey, it's like, do you even want the pizza? Well, it's pizza. So it's like, that's what this person was like. Well, it's pizza. Well, it's sex. So I'll have it. But was it good? No. And after a while, it's not fulfilling. And it's like, and I desire that regardless of the betrayal, you know, which understand in fairy tale endings, it's almost like a miracle, because this person like would have to do a 360, but this type of relationship, like it's almost like magic. You know, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because the person has so much tension, right, and anxiety from not doing anything and feeling like they're going to miss out, and like they obviously you're going to move on, after they treated you that way. And but then feeling, the emotions are difficult for this person. They don't really know how to express themselves when they're feeling all these different feelings and emotions. And so it's like I feel like they don't really know what they're doing. This is not a strong suit for them, to be this transparent, to go this deep. But they tried to walk away, and what they see is that they couldn't. What they felt was very disempowered, and it really, I think, brought up, triggered them a lot from like patterns and things again that they were taught again of not being compassionate, not building that emotional intimacy, where that allows a person to feel safe, so they kind of, this is what we see that they're planning on doing. Like I said, it doesn't mean that you're going to take this person back. You may not. We're going to see why you attracted this person first into your life. We'll see. Overwhelmed, confusion. These are your inner child cards. So again, overwhelmed and confusion definitely means that you didn't grow up in a very calm environment. Space. Actually, it's so much trauma that when you disassociate, it's like you don't really create anything. It's like you don't remember anything. It's like pieces are fragmented or forgotten about. So Spirit saying when you don't create anything, then there's not really a desire to become anything. Because again, you were too busy surviving, not thriving. You weren't in the creative mind, you were in the survival mind. But understand that's where the magic happens, through the disassociation. The child that survives always thrives. And it's because they have psychic abilities. They're more sensitive, they're more intuitive, they have a better imagination. They, again, because they can disconnect, they don't have attachment one way or the other. So manifesting is pretty easy because again of that trauma. Because how do you manifest? Through the thoughts that you think, the emotions that you have. And if you don't have a connection towards a desire, let's just say I want that, but it's okay if I don't have it. It's like I'm not attached to it. That's the way you manifest. When you really want something, you're not going to get it. And when you're don't have, like when you are fearful and believe that you are not deserving of it, you won't be able to manifest it for reasons what we just saw with this person. They again continually get in their own way from not deserving, from not healing their trauma. And here it is. It's like here it is. It's like triggering you where where you felt overwhelmed and shame. And I hate this one. This is heavy energy. And because children don't shame themselves. Shame is where you're being told that you're bad and you're being punished for it in a way where you're psychological and emotional. It's like almost like excluded, I feel like. So every time a parent might have punished you, what did they do? They ignored you. They, they to be shamed is, it's almost like you're bad. You're being told that you're bad. And for a child to be told that they're bad, that they take on that identity, they feel like they're bad and they feel like they're not loved. If a child doesn't feel that they're loved, it's confusing. It's overwhelming. It's like you can't have, your parent act like they don't love you because of you didn't act the way that they wanted you to act. And shame could have happened. Maybe your grades weren't up to par. Maybe again, you smoked at a young age. Who knows what it was, but they like to shame, to make you feel bad. So again, and to a point where it wasn't just um, psychologically, it was emotionally, like by excluding you, making you feel like there was something wrong with you, like you're the black sheep of the family. You don't need to sit here. Everybody knows that you did it because it's always you that does it. Yeah, if there's a problem, we know it's attached to you. You know, you're the problem. So again, made you feel like that there's something wrong with me. It's like it's overwhelming now because I think that I'm coming from a place that there's something wrong with me instead of my true self, my higher self. People take on the identity like there's something wrong. And this person is undervaluing you. They acted like they were going to undervalue you. So again, which would bring up that trauma, because it's like if you're supposed to, if I have feelings for you, you should be, being open and transparent with me, not trying to create confusion where I don't trust you. And spirit says again, misunderstanding, like when people pretend to misunderstand you again, and that a lot of times happens when people perceive wrong. So if you were shamed, like, and everything was seen through the distorted perception of wounded parents, so again you would always feel misunderstood, like, no, I just always am seen on the black sheep. No matter what I do, I try to bring the family together, I'm seen as bad. I try and do this, I'm seen as bad. People just want to see me for how they want to see me. They project that onto me. And spirit says that's your karmic theme of again feeling misunderstood because you were shamed, where again you're not your shame. And it's understanding the answer lies in this energy. And believe it or not, this energy, like this is empty space. Spirit says this space because again you disassociated, so there's just nothing there. It's fragmented. And it's fragmented where you're like, I don't really know like who I am, or what I want, or again why things are the way that they are. And spirit says, well, because you're coming too much from the past. Again, if someone shamed you, you're not shamed. Again, that's how that person perceived you during that particular situation, but that's not who you are. You began to live from that level of consciousness where really spirit's saying, so now it's time to use your magic and create the space by creating your life. You have a clean canvas, an empty canvas, to create whatever it is that you want to create. Spirit says, because you have a good connection to source. And what did I say? That's the psychic ability, the magic is that source is always guiding you. So the connection to source, when a lot of times when we feel shamed, we may walk from that level of consciousness, not realizing that that's what we're doing, but we're still being guided by source a lot of times to our healing. So again, that connection to source happens from trauma. When we disengage, we go inward, and again, we are able to, you know, uh, go into the astral realm. We're able to create. We're able to use our imagination. We're able to, like I said, connect to source and create a life. And that's really spirit saying, it's like, so some of you during the time that in separation, it's about creating yourself using your psychic abilities. And that could be doing anything from, I became a plumber to I became a singer, an actress, a painter, whatever it is. That it's again during time that you found your magic. You always had it, but spending so much time with a person that wasn't giving to you, really, so, or even attached to a person or waiting for that person would drain your energy. And spirit says where this will give you energy. And it actually did. And in that, it also made this person look at you even more different. Because listen, most people, when this person plays games, usually yells, screams, cries, wants to protest, wants to talk. You didn't do that. You again went into your magic again and you transmuted this shame, because the shame really wasn't yours, right? But sometimes when we are shamed as children, we're abandoned, and we're abandoned emotionally because, again, our parents say that that was not acceptable, and now you're going to be punished, or now, I'm going to take it out on you in this way, whatever it is. Where Spirit's saying, it's not so much about why it happened. We get caught in the story of what happened. But Spirit says it's just the fact that shame is not your identity. It's like during that part, and it could be you've had gifts, but you weren't really able to create yourself during those times, during childhood. However, it didn't mean that you didn't go inward and daydream about it and, connect to your intuition. Spirit says so. This is a time for grounding, for you to ground those spiritual energies, because again, really, relationships just shown is the karmic theme for you is that there it's frustrating. It makes life frustrating, and it's because people that project shame like you're bad when you're not bad, and then you saw yourself as bad unconsciously, and then relationships become very confusing and frustrating, and you began to become overwhelmed from your own sensitivity, where because now you feel there's something wrong with me, I'm inadequate, and that's very overstimulating. It's very, so I feel like you had the same energies that this person had, where at one time your confidence wasn't as, like, it was on the same level as this person's, believe it or not. And this person really thought that you were still there, believe it or not. Even though that they were there, they were projecting that energy onto you because of their own insecurity. But Spirit said is like, you used to again feel be on that same level because of your environment. So once you found your magic, then you find your true self, your higher self, the connection to source, living more authentically, living in a, but why? Because source is God, source is love, source is the universe. So when you find source, you're living in alignment with the laws of the universe. So life becomes a lot easier. So here it is, this person expected you to act a certain way and you didn't act a certain way. You disconnected to this person and you wound up like creating a better life because you were connected to source. You weren't moving you. Spirit was moving you. And here this person's watching you and they're like, oh yeah, they admire you because they're like, wow, you didn't react the way that I expected you to, and you really made them like look at you, and the fact that I feel like you are connected to source and you kind of see magical in whatever you're creating or doing within your life. You have a lot of yin energy. This is what this person feels and sees. You're inspiring because it's like, wow, you're showing me like a completely different way where that I didn't expect. And what are soulmates? Soulmates are people that come into our lives to show us a different way. Doesn't mean that that way doesn't trigger the hell out of them in the beginning. It does. But after a while, like I said, once person comes to a place of surrender, and that's not easy, is the fact that they can't just fight the feeling anymore. That song, I just heard it in my head. I'm not going to sing it because I can't hold the tune in a bucket, but you know that song, you can't fight that feeling anymore. Well, that's like the person is like, just can't fight that feeling anymore. Like I have feelings, and so we have to say, pull two more cards and say again, what else was what else was the reason why you attracted this person into your life? What else are you supposed to be doing during this time? What else does Spirit want you to know? Hearts aligned. Align your actions with your heart's true desires. Follow your passions, which is what Spirit was saying about, you know, how the old you might have like knows exactly how this person like feels because you felt that way, but you again are in alignment with the universe, which is the laws of God, the laws of love. And that's when you do align your actions with your heart's true desires. And so again, this person saw that you weren't emotionally distraught after this didn't work out, like that you were able to like disconnect and have like a good life, and it's because you are following your passions. But that's what's activating that this passion inside of this person, because you took your mind off them. You're like you disconnected. You're looking to where you want to go. You're in a high vibration. You're getting attention. You're looking good. This person is saying, well, I'm over here and you're not paying attention to me anymore. Well, that wasn't the way that it was supposed to go. You were supposed to normally, what normally happens is, you know, people come back and they yell at me, but it's like, here you go, you look magical. And so it's almost like this, that's why you're inspiring to this person. It's like because they see whatever you go through, it doesn't matter. Like that, you're almost like, no one can stop you, and no one can stop you because you have source inside of you. And so what you know is that no one can take what's yours, only you can do that, and by believing you're not deserving of it. So even though this person in the beginning, when they first met you, tried to make you feel as if you weren't deserving of it, that's how they betrayed you, really, by playing all the games. But really the underlying energy is you wanted me to think that I was not deserving of it, and really that it's that they really aren't deserving of it. So it's, so understand, they would have to align their actions with their heart in order to become balanced, and really the connection to you and how you live kind of shows this person how to do it. So I just kind of feel like the universe is not, doesn't really care whether you're going to be with this person. I'm not going to lie, we have free will. God says, I don't care whether you're with this person. But if the person like learns and it gets to a level of unconditional love by learning what that is, then you've done your job. That's all that the universe cares. The universe says that might be taught through pain and suffering. You know, if they lose you, it's karmic, it's their fault. Again, they're still going to experience the unconditional love. Like, I still love you, even though you're not here and you didn't give me. You know, understand. So the universe says, I don't care, I give you free will. So understand, Spirit says, use your passion to fight for what you believe in, stand your ground. So again, being true to yourself, obviously, but also whatever else. Like, I feel like again, you have magic, you have spiritual powers. So again, when you channel your energy, what you're doing is you're you're utilizing like all your energy, all your emotions to channel it towards passion, right? So you're the energy of unconditional love. That's what you have been doing. But Spirit says in doing that, you stood your ground where, you know, otherwise this person would have tried to manipulate you. They would have tried to do a lot of things, which normally probably you would have been able to, you would have been emotionally manipulated. Because again, being a highly sensitive person, an empath, that's happened to you, where Spirit's saying it's like, so you actually had to go through a similar experience where you stood your ground with not just family, but again, with people that come into your life. And that's because people will treat you how they want to treat you. So if you're not conscious of how you're showing them how you want to be treated, so you couldn't come from a place of shame, of feeling like you weren't deserving. But Spirit says in the beginning, when you first met this person, you gave this person too much. So they thought that you didn't know. But again, that was there. stuff. And really, Spirit saying it's like to gain deep wisdom. It says, trust that the innate knowledge and insight you possess, you have the answers. So the time of being able to trust yourself goes back to that psychic ability where Spirit's saying, if you grew up in an environment where you were the black sheep, well, guess what? You were taught that there was something wrong with you. Maybe you shouldn't trust yourself because no one else trusts you. Because black sheep does not mean positive things. That's why it means it's off. That one doesn't really work that well. That one is, again, the trouble one, the one that just, again, where Spirit says no. That's the one that breaks the generational curses. That's the one that has the deep wisdom. That's the one that, yes, felt inadequate, but again, that's the cornerstone. The weakest link becomes the cornerstone. Why? Again, so that God can display its glory. And the Spirit says, the wisdom, you have it, the higher self. Spirit says, just stand in your passion, do what you love, be what you love. You will command people to treat you a certain way because your success will bring that. Spirit says, because Spirit says, I'm working with you. Source says, I've always been with you, but you utilize me to survive. The child that survives thrives because now you know how to survive. So now I'm going to help you thrive, Spirit says. And so all you have to do is, again, stand your ground, being your passion, create your passion. Again, you're a warrior of light by manifesting light, which is just more love into the world. And Spirit says, boundless energy. Harness your innate vitality to fuel your journey in life, powered by the divine. Again, Spirit saying, I'm working with you. You have boundless energy to manifest right now. Understand, because I'm going to display my glory to whoever perceived you as weak, to whoever perceived you as that there's something wrong with you, to make you feel this way. Again, you can't change the environment, but you changed yourself. And that enabled the changes to happen, to change the perception, which is what makes you seem like magic. So this person saw you before the magic per se, where Spirit says it's like you had to go through this situation almost. Again, to be like, I know what I'm worth. You acted like you don't know what I'm worth, but I know that you know what I'm worth too. Again, it's your own insecurities. So again, I'm going to listen to my own soul. And again, guiding my actions with my values. And if you're not um, in alignment with my values, well, then you're out of alignment with source and what I'm doing. You don't have my best interest. You cut yourself off. This person's not used to that. It's, again, yes, they're insecure, but they have a lot of different options. They're not good options, but they, again, that was tricking their ego for a long time. It was enough for them until you came along. It's like that now all of a sudden you awaken certain things with inside of them. Again, here it is. It's like you're different from everyone else. Of course, because source is working through you. They never seen such a thing. Magic right in front of my face. What you doing? You just turned your back and walked away and you got a better life. How'd you get a better life? It's like you look better all of a sudden. Your life looks better. What is that, a new car you got? Looking like a new house? Like what's going, like why, where it's, again, that's because you listen to the higher self. Yeah, this person, it didn't mean you didn't have feelings. But you're like, clearly you're a karmic. And I'm not gonna eat this karmic BS this time around. I'm out. So now this person is like, what's going on now that you're gone? It's I heard that Kelly Clarkson song, since you've been gone. Like, I feel like that, like it's almost like this person is losing it where you're like, I'm glad that I'm gone. It's like, because all you do is you play like mind games, regardless that is, again, you're insecure. Yeah, this person again still is like, that you show up in their dreams. It helps them like process buried memories. So again, this past life karmic connection is awakening this person to the fact of, again, that they have blockages surrounding their heart. You are a past life karmic mate, but I feel like you did something different, and you did something different that they weren't expecting. You you disengaged, you let go, and by letting go, this person is like, now they're like seeing like what's up. So let's see if they're going to do anything, or if they feel we can get any more information, because like I said, even if they do something, they would still need to heal a lot. But I'm always curious regardless to see what they're going to do, or what they think. I wish I could fix things between us. So again, they're still like, I feel like they know that they busted this connection up really bad, but they had a low self-esteem to begin with, which is why they did what they did. And guess what? Now to fix it is going to take even having a bigger self-esteem than the little self-esteem that they had before. See, if they just would have came in correct, they wouldn't have to fix it. But now they're going to have to come back in, and what are they going to say? It's like, I'm sorry for acting like a jerk. I didn't believe that I was deserving of it. They're not going to say that, especially since they didn't act like that. If anything, they acted self righteous. I'm going to have time for everything else except for you, But even though, they were insignificant, there is someone keeping me from you. So for some, person's connected to somebody else, And so in that, it's like, then they're pretending to be victim, because I believe a person can always leave. They can always leave. They may say that they can because they are connected to somebody else, that there's no love anymore, but their money is connected, or they feel obligated because there's kids or attachments or something else. So that's for some. You make me nervous. Yeah, because again, this person knows that they're not on your level. And that's why I said, so even though they admire you, they would have to, again, humble themselves. Again, they're not healed enough. Again, it would make them nervous. I'm sending you love and energy. Can you feel it? So again, this person like almost sends out like feelings of love, in hopes that I feel like that you would do something, that you would act on it, because this person's too insecure. I don't feel them doing anything. I act like I don't care when deep down I really do. And that's what I'm saying. They're too like immature, and it's like they don't know how to like fix this. And I feel like because they've never been put in a position to fix it. You just will like, I'm not gonna tolerate whatever this is. It's like, yeah, I know you have feelings for me, and they do. They admire you. They put you on a pedestal. They don't think that they're worthy of you, and they don't do the work. And so it's just easier to stay connected to karmic people that they are insignificant, but they're insignificant to them because they're like, I don't really love the person. I don't have feelings for the person. However, they desire me. They give me attention. They do everything for me. And that makes me feel important. That makes me feel good. So I have those people again, but you make me nervous because you hold to a certain standard. You want it to be this way. And I actually see what you say you mean, because I admire you. I respect you, but I'm not on your level. That's what I see here. It's like they don't believe that they're worthy, but at any given time they can change that. What I see is, I don't really want to change it. There's someone keeping me from you. Oh, you can't leave. Oh, you can't like, who's keeping you? No one's keeping you. You'd rather live your double life. You'd rather do what's more comfortable for you, which means that you're not willing to raise your energy. So Spirit's saying, so that's why. And so we leave off with one more message. A message from Source itself about you and this. What are we supposed to deal with this situation? Like again, what's the wisdom? Where should we look? Again, and Spirit says goodness. Overcome your imperfections, polish your character, and feed on the positive. Free yourself, allow your goodness to manifest and become a source of joy through gentleness, unconditional support, understanding, and love to yourself and others. So, Spirit saying is like continue to dive deep and find your gifts and to share those gifts because that is what's going to make a new way again. And that's what's going to actually transmute that negative energy so that you can actually forgive. A lot of times it's difficult to forgive and understand your character is again become more in alignment with unconditional love is what Spirit keeps saying. Keep clearing, keep healing, and we all are reconditioning patterns and belief systems, and not just from our ancestors but from collectively, at this time. And Spirit saying live by your truth, know your goodness, know your worth. That's the most important. Like this situation came to you so that you again would know your worth, which is what I felt. um, and to actually heal. And affirmation: listen to yourself and acknowledge your own needs, assess and retain your own power, be brave and gentle, don't have to be afraid of others, and respect yourself so that you'll be respected by others. So Spirit's saying it's like know your goodness, know your worth, and hold to a certain standard. When you do that, you're going to have people come into your life. You again always respect yourself. You teach people how to treat you by how you're treating yourself, and other people will do that. And that right now, this is just about this connection, I believe, was just to help you to heal, to help you heal and to really to really embrace your goodness, to work on yourself, to get clear on what it is that you want to manifest by understanding what your needs are and where you want to go, just getting clear on it. And sometimes we have to live that consciousness for a little while in order for things to manifest. That's usually what it is. We have to embody that. Where Spirit's saying that you are still too connected to that old energy. And you're not that old energy. You're not that perception of shame or whatever happened that created that you are source, you are spirit in human form. You get to be an expression of love, and that is your contribution to humanity. That's what connects you to humanity. That's where again, when you're listening to your soul's path and you're in alignment with love, and you're being taken away from that negative energy. This person's like, it's not, yeah, they admire you, they find you attractive, but it's again, they know that they're not worthy. Yeah, they come across as all weak and handicapped, like, I can't help myself, you need to help me. Where it's like, they're not. It's a choice. Healing doesn't feel good. This is a past life karmic mate. At any time, they could have risen up and did the right thing. Every lifetime, there's an opportunity. This person's like, nah, I choose to be lazy. And you said, well, I actually know exactly, what I want and know how to manifest it really. And that's what Spirit's saying. You know how to manifest it. This is your time where you're going to be full of energy, vitality, because I'm working through you. It's again, don't look over there. This was a karmic. Look over here. Look at all these things that I'm going to make happen for you. And that's why this person thinks that you're magic, because they see it. It's like, you didn't cry. You're like, your life is better in manifesting like life. You, again, made this person wake up. I love that. All right, let me read some of these comments. Hello, Diane and ComC. Yeah, they want to keep you in that state in their mission. They lost me decades ago, but the psychological damage of the trauma kept me in a prison. The only love and control and youth. The reinforcement on our journey of life. Well, that's what it is. I mean, we all date people and again have karmic mates as long as you're learning again why you're attracting that person into your life and you're transmuting that negative energy. Well, then they actually help you on your journey. And I know that firsthand, though it wasn't through a relationship, it was my mother. My mother actually tried to kill me several times, and my father had cancer over 8 times. And sick goes to sick. And not until I healed the effects of trauma was I able to actually give back. I wasn't able to channel the energy. So sometimes, again, the people that create the most trauma in our lives, when we again heal ourselves, it's what brings us to our path. It's what empowers, it helps empower other people. It helps. So it's about being able to see situations have many different realities. It's all depending on where we are in the journey and how we want to choose to see. It's just when you're in a connection with someone that you know is not valuing you, you really don't want to waste time because you don't realize the psychological damage that is done when you're around people that don't allow you to, feel comfortable and supported in a relationship. You're better off alone, because when you're alone, you'll see the universe come and support you. Your higher self will show you in the calmness and in the quiet, opposed to being with someone that, sometimes they're going to show up, sometimes they're not. That's an energy vampire. Who needs it? Always be true to yourself. Love yourself. That's how you can manifest the best experiences for yourself. I'm going to leave that there, guys. Love you. I'll talk to you later. Bye.